Live on our usual Wednesday. Let's see, it is 10 o'clock in Paris and it is 1 o'clock in LA, and this is when I'm saying hi to you all. So, welcome to our conversation. We're going to be talking about collaboration and networking and how important both of those things are. I would say in any business, but certainly in music and for entertainment and creativity. Oh, I got some wackadoodle business going on here. Let's try that again. So yeah, in the music industry, we need community, we need connection, we need to grow our career, we need community. And in fact, just as human beings, um, we're not hermits, we're not actually designed to live in caves. We are designed to connect and be in community. So, but particularly in, again, I think this, I'm sure this applies to many, many industries. You want, and I'm sure in all kinds of businesses, you want people who will watch your back. You want to be able to grow. You want to be able to have opportunities that, and just like even right now, this is really remarkable to me. Okay. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Emily. Hi, Rose. Netua. Hi, Jojo. Welcome, you guys. I'm glad you're here. So I'm doing an event on the 27th. Look at me. Check. I'm terrible with days and dates, so I'm going to triple check. It's Thursday of next week in LA. I'm going to triple check my date. Yes, the 27th. Okay. So Thursday, the 27th in LA, I'm doing an event called Amplify. It is to raise money directly to go to Music Cares for LA Fire Relief Fund. And we're getting in-kind donations. We have had amazing, amazing donations given. We have $22,000 worth of plugins from JBL. We have, I'm waiting for a confirmation on something else that's like, again, just a huge donation that's in kind that we're going to give away directly to artists who have been affected by the fires, creatives, producers, songwriters, all that have been affected. We have vocal lessons being given away. We have shoot time at a production studio. We have Judd Friedman, who wrote Run to You, Whitney Houston's Run to You. He is giving a songwriting consult. We have an incredible drummer, a studio drummer, touring drummer, who's going to give a session, a consult, and a lesson session, whatever someone wants to use it for. So why is this happening? We have an open bar because we have alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks being donated. Why is this happening? Relationships. Relationships is why this is happening. It's happening because people who have relationships with some of those companies have introduced me and they're saying, yes, I love what you're doing. Of course, we want to be supportive of that, right? It's happening because a couple people who have known me for years love that I am creating an event that is to benefit and support and uplift our music community, and they want to be of service. And so they are reaching out to people that they know and who are saying yes to them. And why? Because they've worked together, they've hired each other, they've brought each other things in the past because they've been there for each other in not just transactional ways. They've been there and supported, they've had long-term relationships. This is what makes people say, yes, I want to contribute. I want to help. Yes, for you, yes. For you, yes. And I am so grateful. Shout out to Steve Gould. Shout out to Jess Lynn. Shout out to Karen Dunn. These people are, because of these relationships, there's so much coming in. So the people that are giving, I don't even know them. Some people I do. Yes, this is in Los Angeles. Amplify on the 27th. I will actually put the link in for you right here. I'll put the link in the comments. Please buy tickets. If you are someone who has been affected by the fires and you've lost everything, DM me, reach out to me. I got you. This is for you. And in fact, DM me because, yes, we want to make sure that we can donate to you and give directly to you. But I just put the link in the bio for the event. The money that we raise, everything past our hard costs, which we're keeping really low, is going directly to donation. Now, why am I bringing this up? A dear friend of mine, they just donated, Electric Pony Studios just donated 3 hours of shoot time at their production studio at their incredible warehouse space. Amazing. Everybody shoots there. My friend Rob Stevenson, a colleague, vocal coach to Rihanna and Justin Timberlake, and oh gosh, everybody, just donated a voice lesson. Why? Because I've known him for 20 years. Because he said, "Oh, you're doing something," my friend Layla, "Oh, you're doing something." And in return, not only is this being of service to people, but I'm offering things in return for it, right? I'm collaborating and saying, "Hey, I've got your logo. It's going to go on our socials. It's going to go on the projector during the show. I'm going to shout you out because I'm going to amplify your name as well because of your generosity, because of our relationships." Hey, Layla, there's my friend. Layla and I have played tennis every week for 5 years, once a week, minus literally just a few. That's our friendship. And this is how important friendships are. I'm not just talking, did I get food donated? Actually, no, we do not have food. We have drinks, we have live performances, we have a round table. I can't tell you yet. We have the artist, Upsal Milk, and Jordan Swaste. And I have a couple, I can't give names yet because I'm waiting for the absolute confirmation, but I have wonderful, wonderful producers, Grammy winning producers coming to join the conversation and the roundtable conversation. And we're going to have networking. I'm going to, you know me, I want people to meet each other. Even here in this comment list, right? Like I want people to connect and meet each other. So I'm going to make sure that you all are meeting. Now, this is where I say there's a big difference between being transactional and actually genuinely collaborating, connecting, being of support, championing one another, networking. It's important because as humans, we need support. Well, no, if someone wants to donate food, we would be down for it. Absolutely. Someone wants to sponsor, donate money, and we'll get food, down for it. We'd love to have bites. That would be amazing. We just haven't gotten it yet. We've gotten drink sponsors. We've gotten major donations. JBL donated $22,000 worth of plugins that we're going to give away to producers, artists, songwriters who will utilize this because they lost their stuff. We've got, so why are relationships important? Because there's times when you're going to need something, and when someone can be there and show up for you, amazing. There's times when someone else is going to need something, and when you can offer yourself, that being of service is so rewarding, fulfilling, champion other people. You know, we live in a world where you are the star of your own movie, you're trying to make your life and success, but nobody's success happens alone. You know, think about the artists that you love and their team and the person that's been there for them and beside them, and how many dancers do they have, or how many people are in the background. When you make an album, sometimes it's the person making that album by themselves, but often it's not. It's multiple songwriters, it's multiple producers, it's the artist and a producer, and then a mixer and a mastering engineer. No, even though the artist it is your vision, it needs to be your inner vision come to life, and you need to be able to communicate that. There's other people that are going to need to support and be a part of it. And it makes a world of difference when the genuine, I mean, come on, let's just think of this. Something amazing happened. Something fantastic happened to you today. What do you want to do when you experience that? When something amazing happens, what do you want to do? You want to call your best friend? You want to call someone and say, "Oh my gosh, this just happened." And you're sharing your joy with someone. You want someone to witness it and applaud you and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy for you." Why are old friends so important? You can't make old friends. Why are they important? Because they know how far you've come. They know where you started. They know where you are. Like that witnessing and that joy of someone saying to you, "Oh, I know what you've been through. I'm so proud of you." That is meaningful to be seen. This isn't about transaction. This isn't about like, what can I do for you? But when I am, for example, talking about Amplify, when I am asking somebody, "Hey, we would love for you to sponsor," or "Hey, can you, is there something you could donate for the either direct donation or for the silent auction?" Because we're doing both now. We just got so much stuff. We're doing a silent auction. when I'm asking for that, it isn't for free. I'm giving something back with that exchange. It's an exchange. Hey, can you do this? We're going to be of service to people, but also I can offer you XYZ for your sponsorship. I'm going to shout you out. I'm going to do this. Because we're not just taking. I'm not just asking for. I have something to offer. So something that's really important. I'm gonna read some of these comments here because y'all are talking to me, and I love that. Yes, support is essential. Yes, that's the joy. Joy is bigger when we share it. Pain is lighter. Burdens are lightened when we share them. When something is tough and we get support, it is lightened. Joy expands when we share it. Isn't that a beautiful thing about humanity? Pain is lightened, joy increases. So share both. Share both. Share your wins and celebrate together. Yes. You feel inauthentic doing this because you do it to an extent you get something in return in the future, no? So again, this is where noticing like your tendencies or habits, or it's about being aware of like, what do you have to offer and what do you need? So you could literally right now just write this down. Write down what are all the things that you have to offer as an artist, as a person. And I say person because some of what you have to offer is not just your musicality or your skills, but let's look at the skills. Write down a bunch of skills that you have that you could offer and share and trade and give and collaborate with. Because, as an example, Alex Wong, I remember, and I love telling this story because it's so valuable. He was a part of a band that I absolutely loved. I was such a fan. That's when I started coaching him. He was a part of a band in New York. And when the band broke up, yes, pain is lightened, joy expanded. So good. So Alex, when this band broke up, he realized, there's so many things that I used to do and that I have talent for, and I haven't been doing them since I've been in this band. I've been like kind of managing the band and I've been doing all of this. So what did he start doing? He's like, I play guitar. I can play guitar for other people. I can produce. I mix. I want to write with others. So he started using all the skill sets that he had, and very quickly, I would actually say, and consistently since then, he has produced records for other people. He has gone on tour with other people. He has MD'd the show. He plays multiple instruments. He's mixed albums and songs for other people. And then he took his other skill set, which is cooking, and he's now incorporated that into, and he started doing pop-ups. He started doing dinners, and now he has a cookbook, and he incorporates his music and his cooking. His album release parties, called Permission Parties, are like a multi-course meal with pairings with the songs. It's really incredible. And why am I saying that? Well, wow, skill set of cooking. What does it have to do with music? Nothing and everything. Throw a dinner party, bring people together. That's a beautiful thing to do. That's a way of creating community, network, and support. And I can guarantee you the people that show up that are good in your world will start to collaborate with each other, will start to be supportive of each other. And you're offering such a wonderful experience, opportunity for people by bringing them together. What are your gifts? Think of your skills as a musician, as an artist, and then think of your skills as a human. Are you the funny one who keeps things light? We need that person on tour. We need the person who's humorous on tour. Are you like Ali Moss, wonderful singer, vocal coach, someone I've coached, beautiful artist, guitar player, harmonizing, wonderful songwriter. She was referred to as like the grandma on the Ingrid Michaelson tour because she helped everybody like kind of dot the I's and cross the T's and keep them on schedule. Like that was a gift and a skill and a talent. And that was the thing that was part of what she brought to the collaboration, including her harmonies and her guitar playing, her other skills. That's part of it. So make a list. What are the qualities you bring to a writing session when you walk in the door as a person and your skills in your craft? What are the qualities that you bring into the room under any circumstance? What are things that you're really good at that you could offer up? And wouldn't it be, yes, Ingrid is a great artist. Cooking food and cooking up beats are pretty damn similar. I love that, Emily. Excuse me. I love good food, good music, good people. When I was a kid in high school, the theater kids and my honors English kids would meet for the first time at my house at my parties. I brought people together because I love a good time, good food, good music, good people. We're doing it in Amplify. Good food, good music, good people. We don't have the food, though we never know. We have a week. If someone wants to sponsor food, bring it in. Either financially, and then we'll get food, or you are connected as you're a caterer, bring it in. We want to feed these good people at the party. So I love bringing people together. I'm still doing it. When I started the artist circle, for every 2 months I would go to LA, New York, and Nashville, and I led the artist circle, which was and is it's a support group kind of disguised as a networking experience. And the last version I did right before COVID was actually a dinner party version. Smaller group of people, 5-course meal that was absolutely incredible. Conversation, connection. Because same, I was like, I want good food involved. I love a salon. I love here I am in Paris. I love an old fashioned or a classic Parisian salon where people get together. Yes, permission to bring your whole self to creative projects feels great, isn't it? So, as an example, I've been told several times in writing sessions and collaborations that I keep the integrity of the story, that I help us stay on point to the theme or the story that we've decided and or that is emerged as the one we're going to tell. And hearing that a few times has then given me the confidence, the clarity, and the courage to know that, oh, that's a strength of mine. That is one of the things I do in the room. So if I see us going off course, I can say, hey, and I feel confident to speak up and say, hey, those are amazing lyrics. But it feels like that changes the story to this. Do we want to go in that direction, or are we staying like more in line where we at? And like just as an example, this has happened, and then the other writers are like, oh yeah, that's a good point. That really does change the story. No, I really feel like this is where the story is going, where we want it to go. And I was like, take those amazing lyrics, put them in another song. They're great. They just aren't fitting our song. Now, I felt confident to say that again because I had heard a number of times, Wendy, this is something I really love about writing with you. And that made me feel confident to utilize that skill again and again, not to feel shy to be like, oh, I mean, you should never feel shy to be like, will they be mad at me if I suggest this? Forget that. Bring your skills. But again, the clarity let me know, like, oh, yeah, that's something I bring to the room. I bring honesty, I bring integrity, and I help us maintain the integrity of a song. What do you bring to the room? What are your wonderful personal qualities that you can bring into collaboration? Another reason why collaboration is really so valuable is you learn so much from it. You're going to be asked to get out of your comfort zone, which means growth. You're going to be asked to write in ways that maybe you don't normally write. When I wrote with A.R. Rahman, incredible composer, producer. Traditionally in India, there are composers and poets, lyricists and music makers. And if I'm writing alone, I do everything. When I'm writing for others, I do melody and lyric, and usually the other would be someone who's strong at producing or instrumentation. So then they're bringing more of the music side. But I'll bring melody and lyric, and then give my 2 cents on arrangement and stuff. So AR giving me a track to write to or a melody to write to, I could not change a single melody note. That was very restrictive. I'm a melody writer. I have propensities. I want to do something with the melody. Nope. So it was a jigsaw puzzle. It was a structure to write in that I had not had to write in before. And it was really challenging and therefore also fun because I got to be challenged. I got to try something new. I had to write under a different set of circumstances. And a few times, like, oh, my head was hot. I was like, oh my God, this is challenging. But then it was fun to be like, okay, well, this melody, da-na-na-na, is it, where are the words going? How many words per syllable? Like, because that could be, da-na-na-na. As it turns out, that was dreams on fire, right? Dreams on fire. I Is that word sharing syllables? That could have been dreams. That doesn't sound good on them. Dreams on fire, higher and higher. One spark, forever yours. Give me all your heart. Dreams. Now, some of these licks came from Susie, who embellished the melody when she was singing the song. But that was a fun learning process. That was a fun challenge for me, and definitely outside of my comfort zone. Make sure to turn this off. It's my disturbing. Do not disturb. Didn't I put on do not disturb? Give me no disturbance. Thank you very much. Okay, so that was part of the challenge and the fun of writing to a melody that isn't mine. Can't change anything. So how do I bring these words to life given this melody? And then another time writing with AR, he gave me an instruction, like, here's a song, here's a movie. Can we write a song for this? And he gave me just this really long track. And again, knowing like I can't change anything, it's A.R. Rahman. So, but the track was like, I don't know, 6-7 minutes long. It was extensive. And I was like, I'm like, where's the verse? Where's the chorus? Like, this is da, 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 da. And I was getting ideas. And then I texted him and I was like, okay, my head is hot. I'm struggling here with something. Is this song like finished? Is this chorus like 3 minutes long? Like, what's going on here? And he's like, oh, no. Just write whatever you want, wherever you want to the track. We'll cut it up. We'll change it later. You can play with it. So I was like, oh, okay, thank goodness. I've got room to play. Now, what did I learn in that moment? Like, I learned to ask the question because I was stuck in a corner. I asked for flexibility. Like, I had to speak up. And that's a really big part of collaborating. Learning and growing is of working with people is learning how to communicate, learning emotional intelligence, learning how to ask for what you need, also have boundaries. Like, literally collaborating helps you grow as a person. We need time to ourselves when we need to reflect and grow and heal, but we learn through relationships. We learn through the challenges of relationships. So given that track, I learned, asked for what I needed, I got a turn that was like, oh, this opens the door for me, wrote the song, and then 10 minutes later, I was like, I got something hot, I got a chorus. And I'm playing him the chorus, and I'm writing a song that's for a Tamil film in English. And then I wrote it, and then he gave me back some feedback and said, some of this is too poetic. Dreams on Fire, poetry galore. He was like, give me stanzas. That could be more poetic. That was an international film. He said, this is a Tamil film, and most people don't speak English. So the English lyrics need to be more clear and less, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I want to say like deep or poetic. And he's like the words need to be catchy and kind of phrases that people might understand or be able to grab onto. And I was like, oh, okay, totally get that. And then that had to affect me in my writing and my lyrics. Again, a new challenge. Try this. How do I make this song to me to have integrity for me as a writer and be catchy and simple for a group of people that aren't totally fluent in English? So yes, less complicated. That's the right word, language. Exactly. That's good language right there. So in this collaboration process, I got to learn, I got to be challenged, I got to grow, I got to have fun, I got to check my ego. And other times, for example, in the collaboration process, there were times when people would send me a track and be like, okay, write to this. It's my least favorite way to write, is just alone in a room by myself with a track although that's what I was doing with AR, right? That was the same thing. But and that was later. Maybe because I was later in my writing career that I was a lot more able to play. But I also knew I was going to work with him the next day in the room together. When someone just hands me a track and then says, write to this, and again, this is earlier, but it was just my least favorite way to write. It wasn't as collaborative. No one's in the room with me. We're not bouncing around ideas. Like the thing I love about collaborating as a songwriter is to ping pong ideas and you and we end up somewhere that I never would have gotten by myself. I would have ended up somewhere else, which is cool, but it's that ping ponging and collaborative experience that's fun to me, really, really fun. So collaboration is so valuable to help you grow. Here's another one. I was writing a song with Ana Torroja, incredible, incredible human being, songwriter, artist, icon. She's amazing. I coach her. We've worked together for I think 14 years now or so. I vocal produced her. Well, we were writing a song with Danny Murcia and in Spanish. So I'm part of the integrity of the storyline and they're writing the actual Spanish lyrics. I'm coming up with ideas in English and they were coming up, they had some lines for the chorus and literally from the file cabinet in the back of my mind from years before when I was doing a co-write, and here's when I want someone's name. Oh my goodness. He was actually the bass player in Alex Wong's band. And then I want to say American Authors. He the bass player in American Authors now. Let me see. And I can see him. I see his tall presence. There he is. And when I want a name, it disappears. And I don't mean to be rude. Where are we? I'm looking. That doesn't look right. Oh, man. Forgive me right now. I'm gonna have to find this. That's not the name. Oh, I feel so bad right now. I can see him, and we've laughed together, and I really enjoy him. And he moved to LA when we ran into each other. Is this right? Let me see. I'm just if anyone who knows me, names literally hide from me when I need them. I've actually called my wife the wrong name before. I mean, early days, but still, I knew her name. And of course, it was horrible and terrible. But after knowing me and after 6 months of seeing me literally just butcher people's names and forget people's names that I know, and she's like, oh, yeah, it's just a thing for you. So anyway, why did I bring this up? I'm in a collaboration and we're talking about the Spanish lyrics. And from a past collaboration that I had with someone who their focus was very much about the sound of the vowels and the difference between the verse and the chorus. And that's something that I do more organically as the singer. Like I write words that sing and flow well, very, very subconsciously. He was very conscious about it. And when we were looking at these Spanish lyrics, which again, I don't speak great Spanish. I speak very Spanglish, but that's what came to me was this idea of the sound, and they were coming up with these words of solo something, and I was like, oh, would it make sense if we just use that? I love the way that sounds and rolls on the tongue, like solo something rolo. I forget what the other word was. Can we repeat it? Can it be solo lolo solo lolo solo lo? And it was from a session that I had years before, and when I just noticed how he wrote differently than I did and the way he approached the sound and the vowels and it just came to me in that moment of, oh, I want to use that idea, that concept right here. And then that influenced our chorus. So cool. That was me learning in a collaboration and bringing that experience to another one years later. So collaboration is so important for building community, for staying connected, for having a support system, for getting jobs. Who's going to hire you? I, for years, hired a friend of mine over and over and over again. Because who do I want to hang out with while having fun creating good music? A friend, and whose skill set was amazing. So I kept hiring them for things. And again, who are you going to call when you need something? You're going to call someone that you know you can depend on, who's shown up for you, that you trust. It's not just like yeah, friends help friends. It's, yeah, friends help friends. I know I can count on this person. They're going to deliver. They've shown up for me before. I have trust and faith in them, and I know their skills. So building relationships is so important. This is where networking to meet new people, and then slow burn, taking time to, like, can you create experiences that you can invite people to? Can you show up when people reach out for something? Someone's asking me here, did I work on White Noise with Paris or just their second album? I worked with Paris and with Lynn for a number of years. Yeah, I have their album behind me. Let me see. I was just putting the 3 so it wasn't messy, I think. All We Know of Heaven is this one. Yeah. But I worked with Lynn for a few years. She is awesome. The band's amazing. The music's phenomenal. And I think that she just keeps getting better and better. So, yes. So, collaboration. Derek Nicoletto, how are you? How wonderful to see you here. Talking about relationships and networking and collaboration. So, collaboration is so valuable for growth, for learning how to approach something in a way that is different from the way you approach it, how you learn when you co-write, you work with a producer, you're going to learn from their skills and their point of view. And then we get to weave in all of these things again as you move forward, and you're in another session, you're like, oh, that thing that I did this once with someone and it was really cool. Maybe we could do something like that, or can we take that idea and bring it? You learn so many new skill sets through experiences of collaboration with other people. That's where that can be so valuable. And then networking is about meeting new groups of people, because we always want to keep expanding our circles. Like, what else do you want to do in your world? If you want to specifically, like, sync your music, you need to network within the sync community and the music supervising community. You need to tap into that community. Oh, you want to do XYZ, you got to tap into that community. And those situations will now provide you with new opportunities to do new things. I had an artist who came to work with me that is a screenwriter and wrote songs and wanted to work on their voice. And in fact, I got an email that said, Paul McCartney referred me to you. And I just looked at that email and was like, well, that doesn't happen every day. Excuse me. It still tickles me. An email that said, I was referred by my friend Paul McCartney. Amazing. Just, a musician and artist that changed the world. So cool. So Josh Klausner comes in to work on his vocals for his own songwriting, his own joy and passion. He's a filmmaker. And then just a little bit later, he said, I want to woo you to work on this film that I have. I'd like you to be the music supervisor. And I thought, wow, that would be a fun challenge. I've never done that. I'm definitely going to be in over my head, which is where growth happens. And I love films. I love storytelling and visuals. I love filmmaking. And so I said to him, okay, tell me what this entails. Like, what does being the music supervisor entail to you? Because I want to know that I can execute it with excellence. And I know I'll be in over my head because I've never done it, which is a cool place to be, but I want to know that I can deliver. So for him, what he shared with me was, I want all your creativity. Like, I want your, in terms of music supervising, we talked about that, but he's like, I'd like this, da, da, da. I want your opinion of like casting. Like, you have ideas for that. Like, he was so open to wanting just my full self to be a part of the process. That was so, um, that was so welcoming and inviting. Like, immediately, I was like, "Oh my god, I love this." Especially, I had just come off a project that my creativity was shut down time and time again, and I was like, "Yes, it's meant to be like this, where it's like, we welcome you and your heart and your brilliance and your skills. Bring them all." I loved that. And then when we talked about the film and the songwriting and such, he had written songs for the film, and I said, "Well, these are cool. We're gonna need to write them. We're gonna need to work on all of them." Because for me as a songwriter, I saw them as very good narratives, but not strong songs, like with a hook and a chorus. So again, he was a little surprised by it, but then he was open when we started writing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's much stronger." And then he came full in. This type of collaboration is beautiful. Like, why would I not wanna do this? Like, that's the kind of collaborator you want, that someone who is like, "Okay, I'm open to the idea, let's give it a shot. We go move forward and we agree this is better. Oh, great, let's go further and let's go down this rabbit hole." That was wonderful, and this is why collaboration is fun. Collaboration is not fun when you get friction, when you have ego, when you have somebody who doesn't listen to your, voice, which is also part of our learning process. So many times young artists, particularly female, will tell me time and time again of experiences they've had working with a producer who just doesn't listen to them. The producer has their way of doing things, has some success. I know what I'm doing. You need to just take my direction. Very domineering, and the I'm using female because this happens again and again. The young female artist just doesn't feel heard, and therefore the project doesn't feel like it's theirs. The whole thing is about the artist's vision, but it doesn't always happen, and that's a horrible experience. It's also an incredible learning experience that gives the artist the awareness that I don't like this. This isn't what I want. I know what my vision is. I feel strongly about it, and I'm going to now go find people to work with to execute my vision. So, as much as that sucks, again, we learn from it and we can grow from it. And it can actually help you in your artistry to really be clear and hold true to your vision and your lane and your choices. Sometimes it causes the artist to figure out how to produce themselves. So, like, I have to be able to get my ideas out first, before somebody like commandeers them or just tells me they're not, like, that's whatever. This will get people to produce themselves. That's a great result of a sticky situation or a bad, an uncomfortable and unpleasant situation. But working with Josh, it was like open, open. We Now, where is this happening? I'm coaching him. He invited me to do something collaborative, and I said yes. And as a result, I co-produced and co-wrote a bunch of original songs on a soundtrack to a film. How fun is that? That's something I never would have done. I produced all the actors who sang the songs. I was on set working with the actors live when they were singing live. Um, I had a blast with Josh, with that whole team, Barbara Romer, the producer, an incredible team, super female. Like, I think the heads of every department were female. It was an incredible set. It was an incredible experience. And that was me saying, yes, I'm going to participate, collaborate, and work with you. How cool is that? We had such a fun time talking about casting when we were uh, we were we were working on it, and I made some suggestions about, well, what about this actor? And he's like, how do you know that actor? And I was like, this film, this film, this film. And he's like, what? I was like, oh, you don't know, you picked one. I love films. I've probably seen everything. I have somehow seen everything ever because I stay up till 2 in the morning watching good film, bad film. I do tend to turn off the bad ones more often, but I love storytelling and I love cinematography and I love Wes Anderson for set design. So we had so much fun. And actually, we did cast. We invited Jack Dishel, who I worked with, and he's in the film. So I did have a little hand in helping getting casting happen. And then when editing came around, he had a few screenings, and screenings inviting myself and a whole bunch of people that had experience to give feedback to the editing. And that was wonderful. I got to give feedback and collaboration on the editing, on the just give like my 2 cents. And some of my edits I saw directly in the final cut. And wow, was that again collaboration? I saw 3 edits of the film. And in that process, I learned editing has a huge impact on the storytelling and on the filmmaking, because the film got better and better with each edit, but it also shifted, like it changed the story. Not the story, not the actual script and plot story, but it changed the storytelling and the impact that it had and the way that it landed. It was absolutely incredible, the editing, how the impact it made. It was incredible. And one of the things that I said was, as we watched the film, one of my comments was, I think of this like songwriting. Songwriting has a pace and it needs changes. So there's a rhythm in the verse, and there's a different pattern in the pre-chorus, and then there's another pattern in the chorus, and there might be multiple patterns within those sections. So the chorus just might not be all the same pattern. It might be 3 lines repeating and then a line that has a change of melody and then another one. And I said, the first time I saw the film, I was like, so right now the film feels very like a similar pace. Like it's 2 people talking to each other, and I feel like I'm on a train and we're going, and I need a couple places where the train stops. I get off, have a break, I walk around, I breathe before we get back on the train and we're moving again. And I was like, I feel like I want a couple places in the film where there's a montage, or there's just wider lens stuff, or there's more, like there's just a different rhythm. We got to break up the rhythm. And that actually happened. It really changed. He changed one huge sequence that actually I was in. He invited me to collaborate and be in the film. Cast me as angry lesbian. I was like, okay, let's not typecast. Although I'm not that angry anymore, so thank goodness. Well, I actually wasn't angry at that time either. I worked through a lot of my anger. And I told him, I'm like, I don't need to be in the film, but he's like, no, I really want you to play this character. And that was fun too. I was like, I haven't been in front of the camera acting in years. So that was fun, collaborative, in over my head, getting stretched, getting out of my comfort zone. And again, can I deliver? Well, most of that scene actually was cut out, like all the dialogue, and it became this beautiful montage of the artist singing, playing guitar, and it became this space to breathe. And that, as I said, this to me, Josh Klausner's film and working on this film was a dream collaboration, because I was so invited to contribute, to bring my skills, to share, and he was receptive to listening and utilizing the things that he felt worked, and that was wonderful. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And I've had plenty of collaborations where I feel like I'm not heard. I'm not heard at all. So I'm like not doing that anymore. And if I'm in a session like that, at this point, I would walk out, or I would peacefully finish that session and be like, no, not writing with that person again, or not working with them again, because I don't got time for that. And it's very important that you are seen and heard and you are able to contribute. And Wanderland, I'll put that in there for you. Wanderland, which is streaming on many platforms, and the soundtrack, you can go check it out. That's the collaboration that I did. It was wonderful. Am I credited in the film as angry lesbian? It's hilarious. I don't know. That's hilarious. I'm credited as music supervisor. And that's very funny. Yeah, angry lesbian. I think it's called something party. It was like the scene was, I forget. But it's a very fun, like dark comedy movie. That's a non-musical musical. There happens to be a song in every scene, but it's not typical musical. But yeah, that was very funny. Good films and the artistry that creates such. Yeah. So collaboration and networking is so important to build your community so that you can surround yourself with quality people, skilled people, talented people that you can grow with and learn from and enjoy the successes and joys together. That you can put a show together and invite people to be another act in it or a dancer in it, or can you paint while we're performing? Can you DJ? Like, you create amazing things, and life is about community. And same, like when an opportunity comes, someone will call you and ask you to come in because you have been generous of heart creating opportunities for other people, because that we all come up together. And if in the history of artistry, it's actually one of the defining factors of if you will be successful or not is who you're hanging out with, and if you are in a community. Two interesting examples. There's a documentary about Steven Spielberg, and in it, he was friends with George Lucas, Brian De Palma. Who are the other two guys? So the Coen brothers? It may have been the Coen brothers. See, again, I want the names. I'm not going to remember this right now. But these five massive, major directors. Was Scorsese in that group? I don't think so. He's in New York. I'd have to look it up. I should look it up so I get my facts straight. Let's see. Spielberg. Friends, directors. Let's see if it pops up. Your inner circle. Who did he collaborate with, right? It's going to come up. Let's see if it comes up. No, that's asking me for... I have to look it up. There we go. Yeah, it was Scorsese. Scorsese and De Palma. Looking for the other names. George Lucas. Anyway, I know I'm forgetting a couple, but the reason why this is important is these guys who all became major directors, when they were younger, they were all friends, and they would show each other early cuts of things and get feedback and opinions from each other, which helped them grow, which helped them put out better work before it went public. And for example, George Lucas, who created Star Wars, showed an early cut to his friends. And it was one of the guys in the group, I can't remember who it was now, it's in the documentary. One of the guys in the group said to him, this is amazing, and you've put us in this world that like doesn't exist. Could you do something in the beginning that just tells us where we are and what's happening? Could you do something just to set up this story and the why and the who and the where? And what we know now is, in a galaxy far, far away, like that long scroll and the voiceover that is so famous from Star Wars came because his trusted friend gave him this suggestion, and this was how he did it. And he got fined $100 for every screening because that long introduction was against like whatever the movie board rules were at the time. Ultimately, it didn't matter. That entrance, that introduction, entering that first scene in Star Wars is so famous, and it is probably a reason why the film had some of its success, right? And it was his friend that he shared that with early. That whole group of directors championed each other and grew together and were all hugely successful later. The Impressionists, who are in all the museums today, Monet, Manet, they were all friends, and they all started their own gallery, their own evenings of sharing their art with the world, because they were not let into the classic Beaux-Arts. They were rejected from the art world. They made their own art world, and today they all hang in museums. They came up together and supported each other. There's an amazing documentary. Oh my God, go watch it. Wolf, meow wolf, meow wolf, wolf. See, I need the words. Is it meow wolf? Yes, meow wolf. Meow wolf is an incredible immersive art experience. They are in Santa Fe and they also have other locations. And there's a documentary about Meow Wolf. Watch this documentary. If you are a creative of any sort, watch this documentary. It is amazing and inspiring and wild. And it is again about a group of artists who were not let into the mainstream art world in their community, and they started their own thing. And did it get huge? Yes, it did. And again, that's not necessarily the point of everything to get huge, but it was very successful because this group of artists banded together and worked together and collaborated and showed up and shared, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And there's now multiple Meow Wolves, Denver, I believe, Las Vegas. And watch the documentary. It's absolutely phenomenal documentary. And this is the power of collaboration. This is the power of networking. That when you show up for people and when you know what you can bring and offer, and when you know what you need, you're like, okay, here's what I'm really great at. Here's what I need some help with marketing, or I need some help with strategy. Or when you know what you're not as strong at, that's when you can go for the asks. Hey, I could really use someone who's strong at this. Can you help me with that? And hey, I'm really strong with this. I can help you with this. And it might not be just a transactional trade at the moment. Maybe that person says, no, I got you. And maybe there's a later time where they say, hey, I got this thing going on. I've got this event going on. Can you come do your thing here? Or it might not be and I can pay you. It's not transactional. It's not about being transactional. It's about growing your community. It's about building your skill set. It's about growing because you collaborated. Ana Torroja, thank you for joining us. I told a wonderful story about us earlier. You can watch it later. About collaboration and learning. So we grow in collaboration. We build our family and community in collaboration. We expand our joy in collaboration. We lighten our load in collaboration. And networking is because you will outgrow some people and you need to network and meet new people. You're working in a new adventure, a new entrepreneurial adventure. You're taking a turn in your career. You need to network to grow in that. You want to work in a new way. You need to network to meet people in that area. And that's why growing your family, building your creative family, your business family, is really important. It's really, really important. It helps you grow. It helps you expand, helps you experience, and we really, really do succeed together. Again, I go back to Amplify right now. If you're in Los Angeles, I put it in the comments. Please buy a ticket, bring your friends to Amplify. We're raising money for people who have been affected by the LA fires. We have silent auction. We have in-kind donations. We're going to have an open bar until we run out. We have performances, and we have an amazing roundtable conversation that's going to happen. And I am ever so grateful to these just few people. And with this, I will tell you, shout out to Steve Gould again, who is showing up and using his relationships to people to bring donations to my event, because he's like, Wendy, I love what you're doing. Giving back to people is so important. I'm going to reach out to people who know me, that they have worked together for years, and someone says, yeah, you need something? I got you. I'll give to this, right? Steve and I have known each other for a number of years, but the people that will show up for you will often surprise you. The people that show up with you may not be the person that you think, hey, I can't believe they're not showing up for me. I've showed up for them so many times. And then it'll actually come from some surprise person and be like, I can't believe how they're showing up for me. And again, part of that is because life is not a transaction. It shouldn't just be tit for tat. Now, the person that if you have given to a lot, if they haven't given to you in other ways, maybe you don't keep giving to that person, right? Because there should be a fair exchange happening. But the world also just offers it somewhere else, because everything in life is not about, I've kept score, you owe me. But it will surprise you. Steve Gould surprising me showing up like this. And that's beautiful. I can't tell you that, like, it's deeply moving that people are showing up. I know for me as a person, I show up for others. Maybe I don't ask for help enough to let people even show up for me, but when it comes, I'm like, this is amazing. Because I'm used to doing a lot on my own, but building community, bringing people together. I love bringing people together. I love bringing good people together so that they can have that support for each other. And you'll have a key bank that everyone has to put their keys in and they have to pass a test in order to drive home. I don't think we'll get there. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to wrap now. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock LA time, 10 o'clock in Paris. I'll see you here. Please DM me. If you cannot attend Amplify, you can donate by going to the ticket link, and you can just donate. All the proceeds past our small hard cost are going to MusiCare LA Relief Fund, LA Fire Relief Fund. And if you are in LA, come show up, collaborate and network. Come collaborate. Everybody tells me it's really hard to meet genuine people in LA. You know what? Everyone tells me that because the genuine people are the people that I know. You're going to meet good people at this event. You're going to see great performances from Upsal Milk and Jordan Swaste, and we're going to have a roundtable conversation. And I am going to facilitate really good networking, connecting in a genuine way. Yes, it is an open bar until we run out because, again, people have showed up and donated. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love the conversation. Thank you for connecting with me. And I'll see you next week.